Okay, so it's been a while since I made a long form video, over a month, and before that, close to a year. And this is something that just kind of ate at me when I read it, and it's really pissed me off. I actually made this video last night with a lot of cursing. It got flagged by YouTube, so it got taken down. I'm gonna do it again without as much cursing. Probably not as angry because I did go to bed. I also have a lot less curly hair than I did last night. So, real huge difference. But it is the fact that Nintendo is raising their prices on their consoles and a few of their accessories. One being Alarmo. I don't know why, who's buying that. But from what I understand, it's just shown up on the Target website uh, before it was supposed to go out. It's a $40 increase on most of their consoles. I haven't seen it actually for the Switch 2, but some sites are saying that it's going to be for the Switch 2, but haven't seen it. But it's mostly for Switch 1 products, the Switch 1 consoles. And it kind of blows my mind. The Switch Lite is going from $199 to $229. The regular Switch is going from, what is it, 249 to 299, and the Switch OLED is going from 349 to 399. About those, I believe, approximately. And that puts the Switch OLED just $50 below the Switch 2 as of right now. Like I said, I haven't actually seen the Switch 2 have a raise yet. Alarmo is going up $10 again. Who's buying Alarmo? So yeah, I was pretty irate um, because again, as I heard, they're saying, oh, because of tariffs. Well, here's the thing: are they really still making a bunch of Switch One consoles? Like, is there who like this is the first part. Like, who's still out there buying a brand new Switch One? Like, it's right now the second most bought console in history. I know I've always had a Switch console. I'm going to get to why I have a second Switch console. Um, but who's out there buying a new one? People are actually trying to like get rid of them to get the Switch 2. And shouldn't that be the focus of the Switch 2? I would feel it'd be more understandable if they raised the price on the Switch 2 because of tariffs. But like, what is the production line on the Switch One? You gotta assume like they're ramping down, that it's in its twilight, like that it's maybe a handful of consoles here and there, but stores have been stocked with Switch Ones this entire time. I have no worry that I can go into a store and grab a Switch One. Like, they have supply. So it makes me worried that this raise, they're using the tariffs as a reason just to inflate the price. Um, like an unnatural inflation, a money grab, as it were, which is, in my opinion, what Nintendo does. Like, they just are money grabbers. Quite frankly, they want us to buy the same game over and over again. Like, how many times have we had to buy Super Mario Brothers with very little difference? Like, they always put out a new version of it. So I just don't see like inflation being the real reason. Another reason I brought up is to make it look like the Switch 2 is more appealing. And quite frankly, I just don't think they would need to do that. Like, if you're out for a Switch 2, I was just in Best Buy today. They got a bunch of Switch 2s. If you want it, you can get it. Like, a bunch of places still have it, and you don't have to pay scalping prices on eBay. Like, they were actually supplied with Switch 2s like at the beginning, and scalpers were taking hits on eBay because they weren't selling as high as they wanted, and there's a lot of fees for that. So yeah, I just don't see that. To me, this really, again, seems like a money grab, a screw you to their consumers, because you know, honestly, those prices should be going down. They should be starting to go on sale, just to get rid of inventory. You know, just to get like people to be like, hey, you want to switch? Go with the Switch 2. That should be the typical lifespan of pretty much any product. Like, Oh, the new one comes out, lower the price of the old one to get rid of inventory, and boom, everyone's going to start wanting to buy the newer one. Like eventually, that's the last one left. I mean, you see it with phones. Like new phone comes out, immediately the last year's model goes down in price, basically based upon like the percentage on how many years it's off. Yeah, they should be lowering prices. And what affects me is the fact it affects the used market. I typically now don't buy anything new, especially from Nintendo. I'm tired of giving Nintendo money. That is my personal opinion. I'm going to be waiting on the Switch 2. I didn't see a need to buy a Switch 2. Frankly, I wouldn't buy a Switch 2 just for Mario Kart World. I like Mario Kart, but no, not one game. All the rest of the games I can play on my Xbox. I can play on my PlayStation. I could have played, and those are last generation. Which yeah, I look at the used market, and this comes to why I have two full Switch ones. I knew the price was going to drop on the used market as soon as the Switch 2 came out, and I got a sweet deal. I got a full console, Joy-Cons, dock that is actually like a customized dock with, instead of just being the plain black, it actually has like the old gray Game Boy. Got a game with it. And I got all that for 180. That's a sweet deal. And back when I was, first starting to rethink doing this channel and everything, be like, talk about how great prices are online about the Switches. That's not going to happen. And my evidence of this is Xbox has raised their prices on, their current generation. And pretty much used prices on Xbox Series S, Xbox Series X, and the Xbox Ones have risen. I had gotten a second Xbox One S for streaming rather than just for my TV, and I got that for $70. Now it's not a crazy raise, like $90, but it's more. It's more, and that's messed up. Because I know when I first started gaming, when I was younger, my family didn't have a lot of money. I relied on the used market to get the original gray Game Boy. That was my first console, the original gray Game Boy. And, the used market has really helped people who can't afford, to buy new, get into your ecosystem. Like, it's quite like you want them to join, because when they do have money, like now that I have money, I buy things. Like I really I spend a lot of money. As you can see, I have a stack of Xbox controllers behind me. I have my old graphics cards here, a stack of Switch games right there. Like it's a buy-in, and Nintendo's given that up. They really are, and for like all the wrong reasons. It's like the quick buck versus the long investment. And I know some people are like, well, Xbox, PlayStation, raising prices. Well, yeah, but that's current stuff. That's current stuff that they're still making, still on the production line, coming out, and do have to go through tariffs. Like this they should be done making Switch ones. They really should be. So this just really feels like another money grab. Like, hey, people, if they can't, get the Switch 2, they'll just buy a Switch 1. That weird, like, dumb idea that floats around every so often in gaming. Well, okay. Don't raise the prices on them. You want them in the system. Like, you want them to like your stuff. And it actually, like, I was furious last night. I really was angry. Because this is compounded on the fact that trying to get a couple, GBA games that are popular, specifically a Pokemon game. And they're now 100 some to 200, 300. Oh, who's trying to call me? Don't ignore them. Why are you calling her my video? Yeah, it's like super expensive. Super expensive. And the only reason I want it is, let me get that. Cool, bye. I'm not going to edit that out. Um, yeah, the reason I want it is because I'm streaming again. I'm doing it on GB Operator, and the copy I have is not an actual copy. Bought during COVID, and it doesn't save on GB Operator. On my GBA, on my DS, saves fine. You only find it out when you find out that, hey, it's not an authentic copy. So I went to actually buy one, and prices are through the roof. A lot of prices are going through the roof for this stuff. And like I said, I'm worried about the used market. So up yours, Nintendo, for raising the prices on Switch 1. You're just make it harder on your fans. Like I said, I'm not going to buy anything new from you. Not going to purchase the new Pokemon game. I can wait for that to go online because I'm sure it's going to be buggy as all hell. You have no games based upon the most recent Nintendo Direct that I want to see. So screw it. Up yours, Nintendo. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.